Far beyond the orbit of Neptune, past the swirling bands of gas giants and the icy moons that cling to their gravity, lies a distant frontier, a twilight zone of frozen worlds, orbiting in the dim reaches of the solar system. It is a realm of silence and shadow, where the sun appears only as a brilliant star in a pitch-black sky. Here, amid this cosmic winter, drifts a world both familiar and controversial, a tiny sphere of ice and rock named Eris. Eris is a dwarf planet, but it is not just any dwarf planet. It is the celestial body that once challenged the very definition of what it means to be a planet. It is the world that toppled Pluto from its planetary throne and forced astronomers to rethink the architecture of the solar system. And yet, beyond the headlines and definitions, Eris is a world with secrets. It is a story of rivalry and revelation, of discovery at the edge of darkness, of how a tiny, distant object reshaped our cosmic identity. In January of 2005, from a mountaintop observatory in California, astronomers Mike Brown, Chad Trujillo, and David Rabinowitz made an astonishing announcement. They had found a new object in the outer solar system. It was cold, distant, reflective, and it appeared to be larger than Pluto. For a brief moment, the world buzzed with the idea of a 10th planet, a new member of the solar system family. The object was given the provisional name 2003 UB313, but to the Discovery team, it was known informally by another name, Xena, after the warrior princess. Eventually, the object would be officially named Eris, after the Greek goddess of strife and discord. It was a fitting name, because Eris, quite literally, caused chaos in the astronomical community. The discovery of Eris exposed a problem that had been quietly simmering for years. What exactly is a planet? Until then, Pluto had held its planetary title for over 75 years. It was small, smaller than Earth's moon, and had an eccentric, tilted orbit. But it was still part of the 9-planet canon taught in schools, printed in textbooks, embedded in culture. Eris threatened that status. If Pluto was a planet, and Eris was larger, shouldn't Eris also be a planet? And if Eris was a planet, what about the dozens, even hundreds, of other icy bodies being discovered in the Kuiper Belt? Suddenly, the solar system wasn't 9 planets. It might be 50 or 500. And so, in 2006, the International Astronomical Union gathered to settle the debate. The result was a new definition, one that required a planet to do more than just orbit the sun and be round. It had to clear its orbital zone of other debris. Pluto and Eris failed that test. And just like that, Pluto was reclassified as a dwarf planet. Eris, too, was given the same label. The solar system had 8 planets once again, but for many, the controversy never truly faded. Eris is located in the scattered disk, a remote region of icy bodies beyond the Kuiper Belt, where objects have wild, elongated orbits that can take centuries to circle the sun. It orbits at an average distance of 68 astronomical units, more than twice Pluto's distance. 1 year on Eris lasts 557 Earth years. Its diameter is around 2,326 kilometers, slightly smaller than Pluto, we now believe, but more massive thanks to its higher density. This makes Eris one of the most massive known dwarf planets. Its surface is covered in methane ice, giving it a high reflectivity. It shines like a tiny beacon in the cold dark of space. Surface temperatures hover around minus 243 degrees Celsius. Eris also has a small moon, Dysnomia, named after the daughter of Eris, the spirit of lawlessness. Studying Dysnomia's orbit has allowed astronomers to calculate Eris's mass and provided insights into the dynamics of distant binary systems. But perhaps what's most compelling about Eris is how little we still know. No spacecraft has ever visited. No lander has touched its icy crust. All we have are telescope images, spectral data, and a growing hunger to know more. In many ways, Eris and Pluto are cosmic twins, similar in size, structure, and composition. Both are members of the Kuiper Belt family, icy remnants of planetary formation. But where Pluto is romanticized, with its heart-shaped basin, its bustling moons, and the iconic flyby of NASA's New Horizons mission, Eris remains shrouded in mystery. Distant, dim, untouched. The rivalry between the two goes beyond size and orbit. It's about identity. For many, Pluto's demotion was a cultural wound. Eris became the unintentional villain, the usurper. But from another perspective, Eris didn't dethrone Pluto. It illuminated Pluto's true nature. As part of a larger family of distant, icy worlds we are only beginning to understand. In challenging our definitions, Eris helped expand them. It reminded us that categories are human constructs. The universe doesn't conform to our labels. It simply is. And our job is to keep discovering, keep questioning, keep reaching. Eris is not alone out there. Beyond Neptune, a multitude of other dwarf planets drift silently. Haumea, with its rapid spin and strange shape. Makemake, covered in frozen nitrogen. Sedna, on a bizarre orbit that may hint at another, unseen planet far beyond. Together, these worlds form a hidden zone, a kind of frozen archipelago, tracing the outer limits of the solar system. They are fossils of formation, holding clues about how planets and moons came to be. Studying them may reveal why the gas giants formed where they did, how Earth ended up with its water, whether our solar system is typical or an outlier, and perhaps, just maybe, some of these worlds could harbor subsurface oceans, warmed by internal heat, and even the building blocks of life. Eris, like Pluto, could hold a story billions of years in the making, a story we have only just begun to read. Despite its significance, no mission has yet been sent to Eris, but the interest is growing. Engineers are sketching out potential flybys or orbiters, spacecraft that could launch in the 2030s or 2040s and take decades to arrive. The distance is immense. The challenges, formidable. But the payoff? Profound. A spacecraft could map Eris's surface, measure its atmosphere, if one exists, and explore Dysnomia up close. It could help us understand the origin of its mass, the chemistry of its ice, and the possibility of geological activity beneath its crust. Visiting Eris would be a journey to the edge, not just of space, but of definition, of what it means to be a world, a planet, a place. It would be a voyage into a new solar system, one that exists in the cold shadows, far beyond what we once thought was the boundary. Eris may not shine as brightly as Mars or dazzle like Saturn's rings. It may not enjoy the cultural legacy of Pluto or the close-up imagery of a spacecraft flyby, but it changed the way we see the cosmos. In the frozen silence beyond Neptune, Eris taught us that the solar system is more complex, more dynamic, and more beautiful than we imagined. It reminded us that definitions are not fixed, that even the most basic terms, like planet, can evolve. And perhaps most importantly, Eris reminds us that discovery doesn't always come with certainty. Sometimes it arrives with questions, with challenge, with mystery. And in that mystery lies the promise of something greater, a future where our understanding grows, our definitions stretch, and our sense of place in the universe deepens. Because Eris is not just a dwarf planet. It is a cosmic provocateur, silent, distant, and endlessly fascinating.